Again, my name is Filip Černý. I'm part of the product marketing team, and Luboš Lunter here is our specialist from product management, specializing for network performance and monitoring Flowmon solution. So before we start this webinar, I just want to say that if you have any question during the webinar, feel free to write them down in the control panel in the section questions. We will try to answer all the questions that we can in the time that we have set. If we don't have time to answer all your questions, don't worry. We have your contact information, so we will follow up with the answers to your emails, but we'll do our best to answer everything we can. So that's enough introduction from my side. Luboš, the floor is yours. Show us what you have.
Okay, thank you very much, Filip. So today we are going to go through our newest feature, which is the topology visualization. It's useful for dashboards, reports, and I will show you what is the ratio behind the feature, what are the options, how to set it up. I will show you our online demonstration, and at the end of the webinar session, I will also show you another new feature from the release Flowmon 11.1, which is the sharing of the dashboard, just to make sure that you haven't missed this this feature. So let's jump into it. The topology visualization is is a part of one of our strategic development of Flowmon, which we internally call time to value. It's a set of features which allow users to use Flowmon efficiently, to be able to get the benefits from the Flowmon at the shortest time, so as short as possible. What is the context of the topology feature? I'm sure we can agree that some parts of the network are more important than others, and if we imagine the old-fashioned approach of displaying information in form of charts and pie charts and whatever, it's sometimes hard to identify what's more relevant. Obviously, there are options how to filter out the relevant traffic for you and to make this pie charts or even tables just fine and relevant for you, but still it's hard once you come to the system and see the initial dashboard. It's much harder to find the biggest issue which you should pay attention to. Having the topology context, the map, the geographical context, or the logical topology, and showing the colors on what's going wrong in that part of the network decreases the time for this identification, and you can just spot the issue at a glance. So that's why we came with this feature. The topologies are built, or we distinguish two types of topologies: the logical one on the left side and the map topology. While the logical one uses nodes and links between the nodes in a topologic way, so you have a canvas and you can draw your logical scheme or topology. The map uses the map background, and you can just put it in the geographical context. I will show you the online demonstration. So I will just talk a little bit more about this this feature. So let me switch into the online demo. So let's start at the dashboard. I've built the topologies in the system, and once I'm at the dashboard, I can immediately see what's wrong. So here in the logical topology, I can just click on the red color where I'm informed that the bandwidth utilization is higher than expected, and I can do the investigation. I can see just the like quick insight, or I can go to analysis to be able to investigate further. Yeah, I have to hide the control panel right now. Okay, back here. So I have the heat map, which do the coloring of the links between the nodes for me. So if I set that the link has some bandwidth, and the average or 95 percentile of the bandwidth utilization is increased, the result color is colored based on the heat map. So let me switch into the configuration of the topology, which is in configuration and topologies. And here you can see, and I will show you how to add new node, how to add new link, and I will go through parameters which are available here. And definitely the purpose of this visualization is to visualize the bandwidth utilization. So you can map the profile and channel to a specific link, and then it's computed and visualized in the color scheme. As I mentioned, the heat map, you can adjust the heat map. So if you can decide whether, I don't know, the 70% of utilization is like meaningful for you to be alerted on. So you can just move the bar and adjust as you see fit. Definitely for some links, or some links are more sensitive for the bandwidth utilization, so you can just make the heat map more sensitive for that. So adding a new node in the map is quite easy. It's the drag and drop stuff. So you can add another router here. Then you can add links between the router and existing nodes. Yeah, it seems that my demo virtual machine does not respond well. Here we go. Okay, so let's put a link between two nodes, and let's go through the parameters. So once you put a link name, you can choose whether the link is symmetric or asymmetric. So it's for the symmetric link, you set up the bandwidth, and you set up one profile and channel. If you choose asymmetric link, then you can separately set up for each direction bandwidth separately, and also map it to the channel separately. So then you can decide that for one direction you have, I don't know, 40 megabits per second, and for the other direction you can put 60. Then you choose your channel. Let's just randomly choose one. It does not make much sense, but yeah, let's do it this way. And the link is being created. So this way, if you do have your network split into separate VLANs or MPLS, you can just draw it, and you know, if you have some limits which should be watched, you can create and draw the topology for that. Then once you are on the dashboard, you can just add new widget, and you can find your topologies among widgets. So it's quite easy to add one into the dashboard. It's very similar. It's very similar in the reports. So you can just add a chapter with the topology to the reports. I'm thinking what to mention here, and so I do not forget important information. Yeah, topologies can be also shared with other users. So once you create a topology, you can share it with some role or user, and they can find it among their topologies then, or if you allow them to edit the topology, they can just edit it. It's a very similar sharing mechanism as in the other places in Flowmon. So let's say similar as in the reports. So that's the topologies, and let me also share with you another cool feature with released in Flowmon 11.1. So once you have created well-arranged dashboard, it's super easy to share it with your colleagues. So you can just go to the Edit Dashboards panel, and you can share the dashboard with your colleagues. So here in the edit form, name here, you can just click on Share Dashboard and choose another user and or role with which you would like to share. You can again choose whether you would allow them to make changes into the dashboard, and then the users find this dashboard among their dashboard tabs, and they can start immediately using that. In this sharing option, it's the very same instance of the dashboard is being shared. So that means we'll go back to the dashboard and show you. So it means that all the user who is watching or who is consuming this shared dashboard is notified that every change in this dashboard appears also to the other users because it's you know, it's the one instance, and if they do some adjustments or if they add another widget, it immediately appears to other users. But sometimes you may consider that this is not required, right? Sometimes you just want to offer something like template of well-arranged dashboard to the other users, but you do not want others to make any changes to your dashboard, or you just want to offer them to inspire by your layout or whatever. For these cases, it's just we added another feature, and it's called predefined dashboards, and user can add his dashboard as a predefined. So let's say we would like to add the TLS dashboard among the predefined dashboards. So we just check here, add the TLS as a predefined dashboard. Click on save. And other users, when creating a new dashboard, they can just start from scratch, from the green field, or they can use the list of predefined dashboards, and they can reuse our TLS and make their own changes into it. So here I'm creating a new dashboard. I would like to use some predefined template. So I have the list of predefined, and here is my TLS, which I've added a while ago. So it may sound complicated, but it's just two options for dashboard sharing. The first is like real sharing, allowing access to multiple users to access the very same dashboard, optionally make changes into that. And the other option is using the predefined dashboards, which means creating some template which can be used as a new copy of the dashboard, and the user can just make his own changes into it, and it does not affect any other users at all. So this is the second option. Going back to the presentation, I will just summarize this differences in dashboard sharing. So the ratio between the sharing is obvious, right? Once you put some effort into creating some dashboard, why not to reuse it for other uses, for other users and colleagues, right? Sometimes we do have, or it's very often that you have operators or analysts which have the same responsibilities, and we need them to watch the same dashboard during the day. It's typical in the network operation centers or security operation centers. So we can just share this dashboard with the group, and here you can see like the summary of the differences between putting some dashboard into predefined and sharing it through the sharing option. So once using the predefined, it's offered in the list. And when creating a new dashboard, it's a new instance, and it does not affect any other users. While once sharing, it's access to the existing dashboard. And once I allow other users to make changes, they can just immediately change it under my hand. So that's pretty much it. Let's jump into the questions. Please use the question form in the GoToWebinar, so we can answer that.
Yes, we have one question here, Lubosh. So, can you incorporate these widgets into reporting and regular reporting? So
yes, yes. It's in fact all the topology widgets are basically chapters as we use configuration objects in Flowmon profiles and chapters and so on. So this is a chapter, and chapter can be used at the dashboard as well as in report. Obviously, if you use the like the PDF reports, you can lose the the interactivity, like hovering over the links and having the links details. So you cannot work in the same way as at the dashboard, but still you can see the map, you can see the coloring, and in the PDF reports you always do have like the tooltips over the links shown, so you can see the utilization of each link, so there is no need to hover over the PDF picture, as it's like by default shown. But yeah, I definitely recommend to use primarily this feature in the system, because it can become a part of the analytics workflow. Once you start at the dashboard, you just want to know whether everything is okay or not. You see some yellow, orange, or red color, so you can do the drill down. You can just start with hovering over the link and checking what's the recent utilization. Then you can click on the link, so it pops the link detail. You can check the graph. If it's not sufficient for you, you can just go to analysis, press the button, go to analysis, and do the further investigation. So this is where I find it very, very useful.
That's excellent. We don't have any more questions, but maybe before we end this webinar, we can mention like a small preview of what's coming with regards to the network topologies, that we are working on the predictive analysis, right? Can you share a little bit about that for those who weren't able to join our webinar 2 weeks ago on the roadmap, maybe?
Yes, definitely. So I will help myself by some picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are working on the predictions and trending. So it uses technology called time series analysis. And right now we are using the, let's say, real time or the defined time interval of the bandwidth utilization and computation over that. So let's say we see here last 24 hours and the average in that time interval, or the 95 percentile. And so this is the number which is being used to compute the color scheme and the bandwidth utilization within this time interval. But having the time series analysis, we will be able to say that, yes, this is the color of the recent or the last 24-hour bandwidth utilization, but we see that the trend is going worse, and you will receive the link bandwidth in, let's say, next 2 days. And the benefit is that you will have those 2 days to deal with this potential issue, right? So sometimes you can see here, I don't know, just yellow or orange color, which is not that bad. But if you knew that the trend is that the situation is getting better, you just be calm, and there is no rush on dealing with such an issue, because you just see probably it's getting better, and it's not so it has not so severity than the other red issues. So the trending will be very useful, and you can expect here some arrow which will show you the trend and the percentage of how the trend is being changed. And this will be also useful in the alerting, as right now we can alert you on exceeding some threshold. But having this time series analysis employed, we will be able to alert you on the future threshold. So you can imagine an alert which tells you that it seems that in 1 week you will exceed this threshold. So based on the time series analysis, you will achieve this alert value in several days, or well, in 2 days, or in 1 week, or similar.
Okay, looks like there came some more questions, so I'll jump right through them. Is the main purpose for different dashboards to easily create different reports, or is it just to simplify the work between working groups?
It's this is just to simplify the work between teams and colleagues. The new reports and the new reporting has a very similar feature for sharing reports. So there is no need to replace this sharing with this dashboard sharing. And I can also mention that we have added few versions ago, we have added an option of converting a dashboard into a report. So once you create a dashboard with some widgets, you can just click create a report from this dashboard, and it creates for you a report which is pre-filled with the chapters used on the dashboard. And you can just do some customization, like order of the chapters, or you can get rid of some or put another one, another chapter. So you have this kind of customization available.
Super, thank you. Another question is, can this be integrated on-premise infrastructure and cloud? Are there any limitations we should be aware? What modules should be in cloud? Can collector be on-premise with cloud or mixed mode?
Yeah, if I understood, it's more general question, not tied into with the topologies, but yeah, in general, collector can be deployed directly in cloud. It means you can just click in the AWS, Azure, or Google Marketplace to run Flowmon collector. You can collect the either flow data or IPFix data from different parts of the cloud. If you use some VTAPs in the cloud, for AWS, we also support their flow logs, which is something like NetFlow 5 natively supported by AWS. And recently, Azure and Google Cloud started to support their own implementation of flow logs, and we have this in the roadmap. So we will also support their implementations. But what's really great on this is the hybrid approach. So you can combine it, and you can either deploy collector into cloud or on-prem and collect the data from the cloud or on-prem into one collector instance. So at the end, you can build up your dashboards combining the information from different environments. So you can just have one collector, let's say, deployed on-prem, and collect flow data from on-prem, Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, and build your reports and dashboards over all this environment. So you have one dashboard and instant insight into the hybrid environment.
Perfect. Thank you, Luboš. Another question, is it possible to display the servers in a data center and send the NetFlow data from a switch?
Display. If I understand it correctly, if this is connected to topology, to the topology, you can just draw node which represents the some server in the data center. You can collect the data from the switch, but the the nodes, like the links between the nodes, are represented by channels of profiles. So if you filter out the right traffic from the server you are interested in, you can just map it correctly and draw it. It's just about your imagination how to use it and draw it. So let me say an example. You have some application you would like to monitor. You have load balancer, which balances the load for you and distributes the workload for 3 servers. So you can collect and you can draw the topology where you draw the application, the real servers, some, let's say, camp load master, load balancer, and then you can just collect the net flow, let's say, from the load master, and or more specific, the IPFix data, and you can just map the profiles correctly. So you filter out the traffic which is between the internet and the load balancer, and then between the load balancer and the real server 1, real server 2, and real server n. And then it's super easy to see all the application in context. And you can also see maybe I do have some picture of this schema. No, I do not, unfortunately. Yeah, but then you can see how your load balancer sends the traffic and distributes the traffic into your real servers. So you can watch for their load, and if there is some issue with some server, you can just add another one on adjust the mechanism of the distribution.
Okay, thank you, Luboš. Another question: can the map be done for individual application servers to switch links? So probably can we visualize the connection between application servers and switches?
Could you read it again?
Can the map be done for individual application servers to switch links?
Yeah, you can just you can either create a number of maps, a number of topologies, or you can create multiple links between the same nodes. So there is no limit in this.
And another question: is one core switch enough? Is one core switch enough to have it visualized on the map?
One course. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It probably means if you only have one core switch, if you have only one office, then the map visualization probably doesn't make much sense. I'm not sure if I understand the questions.
Yeah, we can just clarify that offline and answer that via the email.
Yes, we will come back to you offline. And lastly, and this is the last question and more of a broad, do you plan any webinars that would explain some of the cloud related implementations? Just an overview. So we have, maybe I would just mention that we have lots of webinars available on our YouTube channel. I'm not sure if we already covered this topic in the past.
Yeah, I remember quite recently, let's say 2 or 3 months ago, some specific webinar dedicated to the cloud topics. So probably it should cover this one, but on every improvement in the cloud, we do webinar sessions. So if you miss something special, probably the best approach is to go through the cloud-related webinars which are available. If you miss some information, just ping us or let us know, and we can add the topic, or we can be more specific on requested topic. It's very great to hear the feedback, what you miss, and we can create the webinars which make sense for you.
Yes, and I would just add that in the follow-up email, I will share with you the link to this cloud webinar we just talked about. Okay, so I believe, there is one more questions. Any chance to link to this webinar? Yes, I will just add that all of our webinars are available to the YouTube channel. This one will be uploaded there as well, and you will also receive a follow-up email with the recording also. So I think we've covered all of the questions. Thank you, Luboš, for excellent presentation and really nice overview. I think this is a really powerful feature that our customers will be really excited about. And I look forward to see you on the next webinar.
Thank you very much, Philip, for facilitation, and thank you very much for a number of questions. Thank you, and looking forward to another session.
Super. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.